Good morning, Forex traders. It's Friday, October the 13th. Hope everybody had a good night, good day, wherever you may live. Hopefully you made some money this week and are learning how to trade. I won't be on here for a long today. It's live streaming. I'm just going to go over the currencies and that'll be it. If anybody shows up with questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer them while I'm here. But it'll be short-lived because I usually don't trade on Fridays. I just look to see if there's any setups. That's about it. Or stop movements, money management. Of course, this is, as always, for training and education purposes only. You don't trade with money that you can't afford to lose, which I've always said. If you're trading with money that you have to use to pay your mortgage, your car note, buy clothes, food for the kids, you need to have stopped yesterday. And wait till you get a little cushion. It's money you can afford to lose. You need to be able to learn to trade really on a demo before you dive in with real money. That way you can learn the ins and outs and what to do and what not to do without losing any money. Looking at the pound dollar 1 hour starting out. Let's see what we got on here today. Pound dollar, after making a sell yesterday, big sell off. It's making a 1 hour buy signal. But there's nothing to do on that. There's no setup. No setup. So we're going to do the 4 hour and look at it just in case it could change. Now that right there is a yearly. It's in a buy. And in a buy, that's a yearly pivot, support pivot right there. It has bounced off of it, came back, touched it, went up. Came back, touched it, went up even higher. Now, are we going to come back down to it again? Or are we going to come back down into here where the buy was before we take off to the upside? So there's nothing to do right here on the pound dollar. The Aussie dollar is in a sell. It sold off big. It's also made a 1 hour buy signal. But there's no setup, nothing to do there. Now if this candle happened to poke down and goes just barely below or at that candle, then we could actually look at a buy. It'd be very low risk. But we're going to look at a 4 hour, see the bigger picture, and we see there was a buy and it has come back down into here for an opportunity to buy. So we're interested in this, interested in the Aussie dollar buy. That's the stop loss. It being Friday, it's usually market maker moves where they run stops. So that could be one they run, drive it down, get out, and then turn around. So we have to keep an eye on that today. And that's on the 4 hour and 1 hour. Of course, it's got a buy going on. Euro CAD, 1 hour. I'm going to squeeze it together. It's in a sell. Filled in the gap and it's sold off since then. Nothing really to do on that either. The 4 hour is in a buy and there should be a sell back over here. We got a ways to go. Yep, right there. So we got a ways to go to come up in here for a potential sell from where it is right now. So it's kind of in no man's land, or this could pull back into this buy and then turn up. In no man's land, as I say, nothing to do on the Euro CAD. CAD yen, then a 1 hour sell. Really didn't get an opportunity. It just sold straight off. So we're going to look at the bigger picture. Let's squeeze this together. There's the sell. The 4 hour. There's the big longer term 4 hour sell. Now we could come back up to here on the CAD yen. So again, it's like the Euro CAD in no man's land. That yellow line right there is yearly support. See, he came down, closed below it. See, we was above it over here. Had been for a while. Come down, close below it, come back. Now we're going to come back and retest that. Yearly pivots are major support and resistance. They're like a magnet on there. So let's see how far back we can go to see where there's a buy. Good ways back, and a good ways back. There it is, way back over here. July the 28th. So it never retraced. We're expecting a retracement down to there. So we're in no man's land right now till we get up to here, or we get to here for a potential buy to push back up. Or if it crashes through this, then coming down back to look at the other buy that's on the 4 hour. Go back to the 1 hour. Aussie yen is in a sale still, but it has set up a 1 hour buy. There's no setup there yet. So we're going to look at the bigger picture here on the 1 hour. There's the sell. They kind of sold straight off. You didn't have a chance. So we're expecting now a retrace back up into here at some point. Won't be today. We'll look, see where the buy was. Right here. I would expect that this candle is going to get filled in a little bit more. So it should be a drive down into here. But I think if this still has right there's a support, so we could be hanging up to there. Yellow line, that's yearly resistance right now. And there's the other one. So we're stuck in the middle. Stuck in the middle. It takes a while for this thing to scroll like this. It only does so much. That was the 1 hour. Let's look at the 4 hour on it. The bigger picture. Here's your sale. We had no retracement. Couldn't get in. Looking for a retracement back up into here for a sale. Also looking for a buy back down into here. Nothing to do right now. Nothing to do. And that's a perfect day on a Friday. Looks like it's going to be stop running day. Pound Aussie, he's made a 1 hour sell. Guess you could have got in right there. This happens all the time. If a signal closes up, I mean, that happens a lot. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. More times than not, it doesn't. That's why I don't take those every time. I want the little push down, then a retracement back up, and then it's either going to work or that's a push to drive it a lot higher, which is why the stop loss is there. See, that's yellow line is major resistance. Went right to it and has sold off for right now. So today we'll determine whether we're going to push up through that. The pound CAD 4 hour kind of ran away, looking for a buy opportunity to come back down here. We'll look at the pound CAD on the 1 hour. Squeeze the picture in so we can see it better. There was the sell up there. You see it came right back up to it. That was your opportunity to sell. I see this signal, which is mine, what I created, it doesn't show up every candle. So you have to wait. Just because it looks like that's going to be the end of it, a run. I mean, it could have been there, could have been there, could have been there, could have been anywhere before it actually showed up there. There's the retracement. See, it sold off. You had a chance right there. 3 hours after the Bank of Japan stepped in, 3 hours later they drove it up, then they drove it down. And it barely took out that candle, low of that candle, and then turned around, came back up to the almost the high of this candle, and now it's sold back off again. And so if you didn't get in there, you could have got in right here, and you're in the downtrend with it right now, because it's on a 1 hour. But is there a buy down here? We'll look. 4 hour. Look back at it. Yes, there is. And that's where we're looking for a pullback, somewhere down in here. That won't happen today either. That's going to be next week, where this is going to continue higher next week and give us a sell. But it's in no man's land. It's right in the middle of the sell and the buy. Nothing to do. Right now it looks like it's in a sale, doesn't it? Pound CAD, pound yen is in a sale from yesterday, and we're going to squeeze it together. There was the sale. You could have had a couple of chances to get in there, like two chances to get in. And let's see, we're going to go to 4 hours, see what it looks like. That made a sell. There's the buy. I'm expecting this week to get filled more than what it did. I pushed down into here for a buy opportunity to be awesome. See that yellow line again, that's support and resistance yearly. You can see how when it closed below it, it came up, touched it, sold off again. Here we came back up, touched it, went above it a little bit. Now we're back below it a little bit. Is this going to be the catalyst to drive this thing down? Or is this just the retracement where it's going to turn and head back up over the yearly pivot? Have to keep an eye on both of those. All of these are woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's what I'm expecting on those. Euro New Zealand has made a 1 hour sell. There is no setup there just yet. If you get a poke up into here, then there is an opportunity to sell. But we're going to look at the bigger picture and see what it says. Can I go? See, it took out that high. And it looks like we could go a little bit higher, because there should be resistance right there, up close to it. So it could run up, hit that, and then the sell-off begins. You see we're above the yearly pivot. Let me show you what happened. We closed above it, come back, touched it, and now we've gone up higher. Now you had an opportunity on this one to get in. This is the one I was in the other day, but I didn't ride it up to this. I rode it up to right there. So I could have got a little bit more, but I got in down here on this candle, and there's not been really no retracement. I'm expecting a retracement, possibly a retest of the yearly pivot. May even go below it a little bit, down into somewhere in here, or it turns up higher. Because the sell opportunity on the 4 hour, we'll look at that, is a ways up. So this could be the start of a trend up after a little retracement, and head back up, because it's a ways off the sell, because it's sold off. Should be back in here somewhere. Here it is right there. See how it sold off? You really didn't have an opportunity to get in. The risk was pretty great right there because this is a 4-hour candle. So from that high to that high is a good size risk. So I'm expecting a retracement back up into that for the next sell. But that's a long way off. Long way. So the pound New Zealand's going to look the same way. It's made a 1-hour sell too. Went up there and hit. That's the daily extreme resistance. I can still go above that some, because it's not done its daily range today. So it could either go up from here, make the daily range to the upside, or come down further. Which if it does, I expect a good size down move. On the pound New Zealand, let's see, the New Zealand yen is making a 1-hour buy. It's making a little setup here for the opportunity for a buy. But where are we at in the bigger picture? Need to look further at. Yeah, I'm looking for a buy down into here. So we went up, we had a sell, you didn't have an opportunity, but then you had a little poke high wick up in here. If you didn't get any of those two, but then there's your opportunity to get in right in there, and now it's sold off. So that's a 1-hour. So is that going to stick? We'll have to look and see. To keep an eye on it. That's the New Zealand yen. Let's look at the bigger picture on that. The 4-hour. There's the sell. There was your opportunity to get in, and now you're banking money. We're going to squeeze. Whoops, wrong way. Squeeze in. Now, will we have a retracement down to this wick before the next buy starts? Somewhere down in here. That's not going to happen today, I don't think. There's not really no news to move it. So we got to keep an eye on that. That could be a short-term retracement. That's a resistance, yearly resistance. Now that we've closed below it, going below it a lot, we could actually come back up to hit resistance there, touch it, and then sell off to the downside. So this could be a buy just up to there, somewhere up in there. But that's well beyond the range, so that's not going to happen today. Too far for the range on the New Zealand yen. So we'll keep an eye on that one. That's looking pretty good. Trying to think. Oh, still getting messages. Okay, Euro yen is in this is a 4-hour. It's the sell. I'm expecting this to fill in a lot of this wick down to here for the next buy opportunity. That won't happen today. This is a 4-hour chart, got a ways to go. The bigger picture, that was the sell. It kind of ran away. We could see a retracement back up into here for the sell. But the buy is a good ways off. Longer term buy, we're going to make money. Of course, there's other places in here too you could look at. Let's see, I'm going to go to the 1-hour. There's the sell. You really didn't get a big poke up. You probably could have got in somewhere in there. The risk would have been close to the 30 pips. And the buy is way down here. That's not going to happen today. So we got to continue to keep an eye on that. The Aussie dollar was a good one. It looked good. Of course, it's not made the setup yet. The New Zealand yen is making the setup. But for a long term, it's got a ways to go to the downside still. So this could be just a buy, but it's going to be a short-term buy up to here somewhere. And that probably won't happen today because the range is not great on the New Zealand yen. About 60s, 70s is all it is. So we will keep an eye on that one. That could be an opportunity today. Low risk trade because it's made it. That low is 22.7. That low is 28.6. So that's $6 plus 3, almost 3 is what I have on the spread, about 2.5. So that's a $9. So that's a Big Mac combo meal. Your risk in there is all that is. So if anybody has any questions, comments, feel free in the chat. I'm not going to be here too long, just kind of going over these. Wanted to go over them. I usually don't trade on Fridays. Monday through Thursday is my best day. Sometimes Monday's not the greatest because it's considered setup day for the week, for the rest of the week. So we have to monitor these. I think the pound was the Aussie yen. It's in a buy, but the setup isn't there. Need a pullback back down into it, make it a low risk trade, and then hopefully move up again. I'm looking for a big retracement after that big down flush. That's what that was, because these are 1 hour charts. So 1, 2 could be. They drive it down here. A better buy would be on down here. On the Aussie yen, the pound dollar is making a 1 hour buy signal, but the setup is not there. Let me show you if I can find it. It was a spike down. See, that one ran away. Couldn't get in. Expecting it to come back to that though, which we're getting down there close. That's not it just yet. I'll squeeze it in. Squeeze it in. And now we'll show the picture if it's not too far over here. Okay, there it is. Now see, that's the yearly support. Bounced off of it, off of it, off of it. Are we coming back to it to bounce off of it again right there? Now that could happen today. Come down to there. But the better buy opportunity is to go below it, close below it, and be down in here for a buy. So for me, there's nothing to do on the pound dollar just yet. Nothing to do. But I would expect there's going to be some kind of retracement. See, there was your sell opportunity. There's a sell signal. It drove down, gave you the opportunity to go short right there with the low risk trade, and you made a bunch of money yesterday. Didn't even have to worry about trading today on a Friday when the big boys ain't here. It's just the average Trader Joes who are fighting over 8 to 10 pips, and the market makers do stop runs. So that combination is not a good combination of a day to trade on. So that's the pound dollar. Let's put that back in. And the Aussie dollar is trying to push up. But that signals out that could be just a retracement too, because there's the flush, so it could push up. Aussie has got about a 70 pip range too, right in there. And we have to look at the dollar yen. It's in the 149, just under 60. If you missed my other videos, I talked about the dollar yen over a month and a half ago. I'd said that, you know, that the Bank of Japan, if it gets and I was talking about a close above 150, but when it got just above 150, they spiked it down over 300 pips. Unfortunately, I was in those because I had sold at the 148.90s, 149.90s, and I doubled the position of what I had at the 148.90s, and then I put in a profit target of 300 on both of those, with full positions doubled, and that was a big payday, and I've done the same thing again. 148.90s, 149.90s, doubled for the position, just now waiting. I mean, I'm in profit on the 149.90s, but just 40 pips. I mean, I could take that and wait for it again to push back up there, which I think it's going to, so I could trade that a lot. So we're going to look at, let's see, what was the other one? Aussie yen, making a buy, trying to push up, setup's not there. Pound yen, of course we don't have a setup on it, but looking for a possible retracement up to there. It could do that today. The pound yen could push up to there, yearly pivot, and we have to watch it. And the New Zealand yen did have a setup there. That's the setup. Of course, this candle's still got less than 32 minutes, so that can change easy. That can actually drive it back down here. So you have to take a chance getting in there on that spike down, which would have been a 28, I think $9, what I said. A Big Mac combo meal. It's actually, I think that's actually more than $9. This is $9. For those of you that are here for the first time on my YouTube channel, thank you for coming. If you would hit the like and subscribe button for me. If you want to follow me, I'm doing live streaming. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to do it, because not a lot. I'm getting a lot of views, but not getting a lot of people in the live room chat, ask questions and stuff. So my time is valuable, just like your time is valuable. So I do this for a living, a trade, and it's swing trading. It's not day trading. I don't do day trading. I just do 1 and 4 hour charts. So there's a lot of time where you have to just wait. So I don't have to sit in front of the computer. I can go do other things and then come back, peek at the candles at the hour, and then go back and do something else again. If you are working, I would suggest not day trading on 1, 3, and 5 minute and some 15 minute. I've seen a lot of them on the internet. I started out doing that in the late 90s, using 1, 3, and 5 minute charts, and I blew 2 accounts using that strategy. So I can easily say I been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, and I burned the t-shirt. So I don't do that no more. Never going back to that. Swing trading is the best for me. It's not for everybody, because most everybody on the internet loves action. They want action, which means there has to be several trades. They feel like they have to make money every day. And hopefully you're not being induced by the where they take pictures of cars and houses and all that stuff, because they're just trying to get you, those guys. I'd be willing to bet they don't even trade. If they do, they're using a demo account. They're just trying to get subscribers and likes where they can get paid by YouTube and possibly even get paid advertising on their channel by getting so many subscribers and likes. So that's not about the trading, it's about them. It's not about you. I'm about you. I want you to be able to learn how to do this on your own without me. You don't need me once you learn how to do it. But subscribing to my channel, you'll also have to click on the notify me, and then that will notify you when I'm on live streaming, which is usually Monday through Thursday, to 8 a.m. Eastern Time till about 10:30, 11 Eastern Time. 3 hours at the most I'm on. 2.5 hours is most of the time. That's what it is. But because I've been on here over 2 weeks, actually this is day 17, I believe, of live streaming for me. I've not had anybody come in the chat room. I've had views, lots of views, but my time's valuable. If nobody comes in, then I'd rather concentrate on my trading. I don't mind helping people, helping them being able to learn how to trade, asking questions. But most are, they come in and do they're wanting action. They feel like they have to make. There might not be a trade today. I mean, it could be on this New Zealand yen short term, because it's setting up right now. And the Aussie dollar and odd yen both have opportunities. The pound dollar does as well, but there's no setups there yet. So you have to be patient and wait. And most people don't have time to be patient. They feel like they have to make whatever, $100 a day, $250 a day, $500 a day, whatever the number is. I don't have the number. I let this take, the old saying like in football, take what the defense gives you. Don't force things. That's when you get beat. Same thing in trading. Don't force trades. Take what the market gives you. Take what the charts give you. So take that to heart, But most people got to be entertained on there. I'm sure if you found the channels on the internet, the ones that say they're trading, I'm not sure that they actually all do. So that's some that does. But again, you got to look at the. I'm sure you've seen a bunch of them if you've been on the internet and you've seen these rooms. They have wins and losses on their screen, top or bottom. They could be for the day, for the week, for the month, even for the year. I've seen them for that put up. But that's very deceiving. Don't take that into consideration. Because the brokerage houses say on average that their traders, each of their traders, whoever they use, on average take 8 to 10 pips a trade. That's it. Which means they constantly have to find trades throughout the day. And some of them is going to be forced. Because they feel like they have to make a goal. If they don't make the goal, then they can't pay bills. And I don't do that. I don't force trades. I wait for the trades. Do I have losing trades? Oh, absolutely. Those who don't, they're lying. They're flat out lying. And you'll probably know that too. You'll figure it out if you've been with them long enough. Because you're going to be able to see the Excel spreadsheets can be manipulated, which a lot of them use. I don't know if you know this, but demo accounts can be manipulated whenever they put down here. But a live chart, a live account, what you see money is, can't be. It can't be manipulated. Because it's real money. A demo account is not real money, so they, like a Wanda, they don't have to keep up with that. That's why it can be manipulated. It can be changed, those numbers. But in a live account, they have to report it, money that they make or that I make. They send the statement to you. That has to be turned into the IRS, so that can't be manipulated. So just take that into account. Been trading for a long time. I've looked at a lot of stuff. You don't have to believe me. If you search on the internet enough, you're going to be able to find the information. The brokerage houses put that out. That's not me putting it out. That's what they say on average their average traders get. is 8 to 10 pips on average per trade. I don't do that. I used to do that when I first started out. Not on Forex, but on futures and stocks. If I got 10 cents, I took it off, and the thing would run $2. And of course, you get frustrated. You made money, but a little money. But then you had to make trades. If you had a losing trade, then you were fighting against the trade because you're trying to make that up. Or if you stayed in it, added to the position, and then you just were hoping and praying, oh, if it just gets back to this number, I'll get at it break even, if it just gets back there. That's why you have to take what the market's going to give you. And the charts will tell you that, but you got to be patient. You have to wait. And most people can't. We live in a microwave society. Gotta have it now. Gotta have everything right now. So if you need that kind of action, or if you need constant entertainment all the time, that's what your phone's for. This is not the channel for you. I'm about trading. I'm not about entertaining. I mean, I don't mind cutting up and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong. I like having fun like the next person. But I like being able to trade, concentrate. I want other people to be able to trade for a living. That's my main goal. It's not all these other traders' main goal. They may say that, but look and see how transparent they are. And I'll give you an example. I did this yesterday if you haven't seen my videos. When you see these guys that have wins and losses and break-evens at the top of the bottom of the screen, and let's say we're going to make the numbers easy. Let's say for the month they've had a total of 50 trades. Let's say they've done really good. They had 38 wins. They had 12 losses and no break-evens. This is just an example. You're going to look at that and say, wow, these guys are pretty good. But what they don't show is how many pips did you get total? Of those 50 trades, how many pips is it? That's what you need to know. That's the information that you need to know, not wins and losses, because that's deceiving. Because if they do take the 8 to 10 pips on average, then if they come back and say of the 50 trades, they made 500 pips, there's your 10 pip average. That's all they made per trade. And it doesn't say where their stop losses or the losses, how many pips did you lose on that. So now that can be, changed and make it look worse. So, but yes, they had a winning percentage. Yes, they did. Now I'll give you my example, and I'm going to give you a worst case example. Let's say I say I'm not going to have 50 trades in a month. That's not going to happen. But let's say, for instance, in my month, I had 11 trades. I had 10 losers. Let's say I lost 10 in a row before I had a winner, which that's never happened, but let's say that did happen on mine. And I was doing the same thing. I put up wins and losses. Let me show you the picture here so you can be able to understand what I'm talking about. Let's say I had the 10 losses. My average stop loss is anywhere from the lowest I've ever had is 4.5, which I can get sometimes, to the about 20. 30 is my max, and that's with the spread. I don't go any more than that because it flip-flops the risk to reward. So let's say on average I lost $15 per trade, and I lost 10 in a row. That's $150. Now this one trade which I took this week, had to wait. There was a buy opportunity. The setup, no setup, it starts running away. Come back and look at it the next day. There's the poke down. I got in on this candle and rode this up. This one trade wiped out all 10 of my losses. This became a over $300 winner. So I actually had what I'd put on the screen. If I'd done it, what these guys do is I would have, you'd come in and look at it in the room, and it would show 1 win, 10 losses, no break-evens. And the first thing you would think is, this guy's a loser. He ain't no count. Don't want to follow him, so I'm going to the next channel. And you move on. But what you don't know is that of the 10 losses with a $15 risk, which is $150, the 1 win became 300, actually a little over 300. So I wiped out all of those and was profitable. But because it shows 1 win, 10 losses, that turns people off. That's why I'm saying, that's deceiving. Those numbers, when they put up there, you need to ask these guys if you're on those channels, and if they're actually trying to help you trade. That's the main thing. Are they helping you, or are you just following them? If you're wanting to learn how to trade, excuse me, then you got to ask these questions. If they don't want to answer that, I would suggest you leave the channel immediately. If they do send them to you and say, okay, this is how many pips I got, then divide it into all the trades that they had, the pips, and you're going to come up with a number, and more times than not, it's going to be on average 8 to 10 pips is what they took per trade. And look how many trades they had to make to be able to get that. I make 1 trade and able to get more than what they can get trading in a month. So don't let those numbers deceive you. Please, don't let those numbers deceive you. I'm a math major. I look at numbers on everything. That's how I figure stuff. And base a lot of things. It's on math. And doing that, just looking at it, because that's what a lot of people do. Oh, look at that. Man, they've had 50 trades for the month. They do a lot of trading every day. That's what I want. Be able to get in, get out, get in, get out. Make money every day. Pay the bills. A good winning percentage, 38 wins, 12 losses. That's 3 to 1. But what the most important thing is the numbers. How many pips did you get with those trades? See, I can be patient, wait 1. Now I had to stay in this for 2 days. But wasn't it worth it to stay in that? And once I have the trade, I don't have to look for another trade. I'm in it. I get in it, take off half a position, then keep moving the stop up till it gets up to major resistance, which, well, you can kind of see it right there. Major resistance right here. And then you can either, really tighten your stop up, or you can completely get out, because this could be a reversal and come down here. Then now you've lost some money. I mean, you've already made money off your other half. But that's just what I do. You don't have to do that. I've just found out from experience, because I print off, and I would suggest you guys do the same thing. I print these charts off every single day after the New York session ends. Every day. And you say, wow, that's a lot of ink. Or I got to buy a printer. And continually got to have paper. Yep, but this is a business. And you have to treat it as a business. So all of that stuff, buying paper and ink and a printer and maybe even a new laptop, it's tax write-off. Of course, you don't get it then. You won't get it till the end of the year, and you're not going to get all that back anyway. But you're able to use it as in your business. And then when I print these charts off, if there is a trade, like say for instance this one, that day, once I got the trade in, not after it's over, it's when I got in it. The day I got in it, I would write it up. Where was my entry at? Which was on this bar. And I had to wait. There was a signal. I had to wait another whole day to be able to get in. A lot of people can't wait that long. They don't have patience. And then all you're doing is moving your stop up. Don't have to look for another trade on this currency. I don't, because I'm already in it. Now there could be trades coming on other currencies, because I look at 14 different ones. So there could be another setup on those, but there could be where one just runs away, like I showed you on that pound dollar. I'm recording this too, by the way, so if you miss any of this or get in late, then you're welcome to go back and check out that part of the video that you missed. It'll be posted after, it's usually about 1 o'clock Eastern time, sometimes 2 o'clock Eastern time, depending on how long the video is. But back to this, I said, yeah, don't let those numbers deceive you. And if they will not give you that information, why? What are they hiding? As you can see, I don't even have to post mine. If you're in here live, you're able to see, or when I come on live and I tell you at night that the entry that was right into here, and then I even say whenever I move my stop or take off half the position, and then where to move my stop losses up to, and just kind of follow it when it starts trending like this, which it doesn't do all the time. And you may say, this stuff, these are parabolic SARs right there. You can get those anywhere, whether you use a Wanda, MT4, TradingView, Interactive Brokers, whoever you use, you can get those anywhere. That green is a EMA moving average. You can get that anywhere. The blue and orange arrows are just trend following, because this is just for 1 hour. They change when they go to 4 hour, but you can pretty much get those anywhere. Now the only thing you won't get is these. That's what I created right there. But I don't know how to write that JavaScript script code, but I have a friend of mine who does. He works in that field, so I had to get him to sit down and figure out to the computer what I needed it to be able to look for. But these, you can see the example, and I got a lot more of those, but that's the most recent on it. Let's see, New Zealand yen. Yeah, that candle's still got less than 11 minutes. The Aussie dollar is trying to push up. It's in a buy. Setup's not there. Now this could just run away. Nothing you can do. Move to the next one. CAD yen, yeah, all them going sideways because the New York session doesn't open for another 50 minutes. Pound Aussie made the sell, trying to come down. Really didn't have a chance to get in. I guess you could have got in there. That high 93.27. That high is 13. So that's four. Yeah, you could have got in there. $14 plus the spread, which is about 4 on mine. So that'd been $18 risk on the pound Aussie, but it hasn't really, I mean, it's moved some, but not enough to where I would take off half a position. 13. Let me make sure I'm telling you right. Well, let's see. Oh, that's really close. Almost, yeah, within 1 pip of taking it off at the 50 pips, which I take off on these. Aussie dollar, Aussie yen, CAD yen, New Zealand yen are all lower. They're 30 to 35 because of the ranges. They don't have the same ranges every day. That's why those are different. But the others are anywhere from Euro yen is like 40 to 45. Pound Aussie's 50. And it depends on where the range was, where it started out for the day, and how far it's got to go. Because the pound Aussie can go to anywhere from 100 to 120 a day. Pound CAD the same. Pound yen the same. The pound New Zealand now can go a lot further. It can go up to 160, 180, even 200 if there's news, major news. Euro New Zealand can go up to 120. So they got big ranges, so it depends on what you're trading. Aussie dollars, see now the range on this is only 60, 70 a day. There was big news yesterday. That was the exception. So it can go in the 80s, even up to 90 if there's major news, which we had the CPI report yesterday in the US. So the pound yen is trying to push up. But see, there was your opportunities to get in. You actually had two right there after the signal showed up. And see, this doesn't show up all the time. So if you didn't get in there, that poke up there, you could have still got in. It would have been a low risk trade. That was 60, 80, 380, and 63. So that's 17 plus 3 on the spread. That's a $20 risk right there. And when this drives down, well, let's say for instance you got in here. When this drives down like that, several 1 hour candles, then you can move your stop from where you had it initially, if you got in there, to right there at break even. It didn't come up and hit it, then it drove down again. Now you moved your stop from up here, break even, to here, and you've taken already half your position. And now the second half takes the stress off too. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. There is no stress in this, as opposed to if you're looking to trade 1, 3, 5 minute, even 15 minute, there's stress. You're trying to find places to get in constantly. You see how easy for me to just flip and be able to see up, nothing, no setup, no setup. Then you got another whole hour to come back and look. And there may not be a trade that day, or it might not even be a trade the next day. Patience is the key. You have to be patient. You have to have money set aside for this if you're trading, swing trading, in case there is days where there's no trades. I got too stressed out trading 1, 3, 5, 15-minute charts, constantly having to find something to get in. Because when they take these, the ones on the internet they take 8 to 10 pips, if that. Some of them's not even that. If they take 8 to 10 pips, then they move their stop to break even. It can easily in an hour candle come back and go below that and stop them out, and then the trade continues. You have to give on swing trading. You have to get it moved. You get a low risk trade like what I'm looking at, and it's either going to move or it ain't. If it's the real move, it's going to poke down. See, like here, pound yen, or the opportunity to get in. Got to poke down. You had to wait about 7-8 hours, or if you waited on that, you missed that. There was another one that was another 7 or 8 hours. So you're approaching a day you had to wait. Most people that are trading, and they're the average trader Joe, which is me and you, 90 to 95% lose, which means they blow their accounts. They lose money. I'm not sure about you. I don't want to be included in that, and I'm not included in that. I used to be when I first started trading, but that's why I changed, got into swing trading. But patience, you got to learn to be patient, and it's hard to do, to learn that. It takes time. Because when you start feeling that something's running away, let's go back to the Euro New Zealand. That's a perfect example. When you start to see this running away, after that candle, you go, uh-oh, could be a buy, could be a buy. Then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles where it kind of stalled at its high. So that's 7 hours. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, another 12 hours. So that's 19 hours. Well, actually 20 counting that one. 20 hours you had to wait almost a whole day to be able to get in. And most people can't. They can't wait that long. They have to be able to get in a trade. They say, okay, it's going up, it's going up, going up, going up. Okay, now they try to get in here. And they make a little bit. But then they get stopped out. And now they have to look for another trade to be able to get in. And they wait for it to run away. So this is where they're usually looking at, is in here. If they happen to be up then. If not, they might have got up in here and then they got stuck in this. Going back and forth, back and forth. And that's, these are, anywhere from 30 to 50 pip range in these. That's why I look at the longer term 1 and 4 hours. So we'll get back to that. See, it's made its high. It's made a 1 hour sell signal, and you could get in on, either one of these, and that's your stop. But the New York session is not open. It's got still less than 34 minutes left to go. And again, I'm having several views, but I'm not having anybody commenting. And the chat is open. Still none in there. There's just bots that show up too. If you like the Forex swing trading, it's perfect for if you're working a full-time job. It's perfect for it. Day trading is not, and let me explain why. I've said this several times on my videos. You're probably getting, if you've watched them all, you're getting tired of it, but it's true. If you're working a full-time job and you're trading that way, that means that you got to constantly be on your phone or your laptop at work if they let you use it for that. Most companies frown on that. They don't want you to put other software on their desktops or laptops that's not company related. So if you're having to use your phone, which means if you're trading with 1, 3, and 5 minute, you're constantly having to look at your phone. So now you're increasing your chances of them frowning upon you doing that, and possibly, if it happens enough, getting fired and losing your job. And I hate that to happen for anybody. If you do swing trading, you can still look at your phone, but because you're trading 1 and 4 hour charts, you can look at it before you go to work, first thing in the morning when you get up, your first break in the morning, at lunchtime, at your break in the afternoon, and then when you're home, going home from work, and then of course when you get home. So there's no chance you're getting fired or creating a disturbance with your job doing swing trading, because you're not looking at it. But at the times that you're off, your breaks and lunch and stuff, that's your time, as opposed to trading 1, 3, and 5 minute charts. Now you're looking at it on their time. And the way things have changed, nobody cares about that now. They think everything is theirs. They're entitled. I have the right. Nope, you don't have the right either. But that's the generation we live in, and unfortunately. Because I actually had, me and my wife was at a place, and this kind of tells you where we're at now in society, which is terrible. We was at a seafood restaurant, which was on the water. In this particular restaurant, when you go in, you give the order out up front first. You walk through, and then you have to give them a piece of your belongings, whether it's a hat or glasses or sunglasses or something pertaining that is, it's going to be your table, because they're going to put it out on a table, and then you're able to look for it after you order. So you go in there, we go to our table, sit down. There was another couple came in. They weren't old at all. Actually had a young child, probably 4 or 5 years old, and they were young, probably late 20s, maybe early 30s. Each of them had a phone, the man and the woman, and they sat down and sat across from one another, and we was kind of watching, because the way our table was, we could see them easy, and both of them were on their phones and wasn't saying anything to the child. And we noticed the child was just kind of sitting and looking around and kind of fumbling his fingers and his hands and nothing to do. And that continued on, and I finally asked my wife, I said, well, you reckon they're texting one another? That's how they communicate? And the child kept on. As time went on, it went longer, and they wasn't saying anything to the child because he wasn't acting up or anything. But they still weren't saying anything. They were tied. Both were tied to their phones. And man, my wife started feeling for the child and said, "Man, that's it. You know, they're not saying anything to the kid whatsoever." I said that was kind of disturbing, but I see that a lot now. The more you look for it, the more you see it. And so that's why I say that, you know, if you want to be entertained, hey, you got your phone. I don't get paid to entertain you. And you say, well, you're trying to get a YouTube channel, trying to get subscribers. Nope, I'm not trying to get Taylor Swift subscribers. I just want subscribers who want to learn to trade. That's it, period, end of sentence. And who want to be able to do this on down the road for a living, trade for a living, where they can be at home. This becomes their business, their full-time business, and then they can get their wife or husband. There's ladies that trade too. They can get their wife or husbands at home because now they're making money. That's what happened to me. So I started out in the late 90s trading stocks, penny stocks, and you had to have a lot of money to be able to do those. I mean, couldn't buy, you know, Amazon and all them that were so expensive that was around. Microsoft. Because you couldn't afford it and the money was tied up for so long. And you had to wait for moves and it could go sideways. There's a lot of people on there that trade those, you know, just try to get 10 cents or whatever. Which, you know, I'd kind of done the same thing, but then I moved to options on stocks, which was cheaper. You didn't have to tie as much money, but they had to move in a certain time that you had bought or sold, because you could do both. And if there was a big move against you, then the rest of that time was going to be eaten up and you were going to expire worthless. So I moved away from that, went to futures. Again, trading 1, 3, and 5 minute charts. And that didn't take long to blow an account. And I said, okay, got to move away from that. That's not working. And you may say, oh, it was your strategy. And I said, no, it's the 1, 3, and 5 minute charts. That's too many. How many? You have to feel like you have to get in trades when you trade like that constantly. So I went to doing options on futures as well, because it tied up. When you're just trading futures, it ties up a lot of margin, and can't really trade. Like, could be another trade come along, but they couldn't because you don't have enough money in your account because it's tied up everything. So I blew an account in that. So I started hunting more on the internet. Said, okay, well, those are not the way to trade, I don't think, at least for me. And I come across currencies, had not even heard of currency, Forex currency trading before. Started researching it, learning about it. I started looking at different, as I got away, so I'm not going to use 1, 3, and 5 minute charts. I'm going to go longer term. So when I found out that all the, you know, Goldman Sachs, all them brokerage houses use 1 and 4, you know, 4 minute and daily, I said, well, there's got to be a reason they're using that. And they're the ones that make money. Because I know they get paid every time you trade, but they trade too. So I started using those and started going through charts, looking at charts religiously. I mean, staying up to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on the weekends and going over these when I was working a full-time job, and even at nighttime when I got off of work would look at these charts and go over them over and over and over. And I said, I'm going to start printing these off, put them in a notebook where I can go back and look at them on the weekend instead of having to do it on a desktop or laptop, and then write up if I got in a trade, or if there was a trade setup, write up, well, I think this is where the setup was, yada, 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 so to speak. And now the rest is history from that. And I started trading Forex currencies in 2006. Once I found this strategy, which took several oh gosh, probably 9-10 months putting it together, and then having to get a friend of mine to write it to work, because I didn't want to sit in front of the computer all day. But this thing will alert me when it comes on, and then I can come back and look, because there's not going to be a setup. I come back and look an hour, 2-3 hours later, and see if there's a setup after the signal. So now I'm not tied to my computer. So now I'm able to do what I wanted to. I can go out to lunch, drive down to the beach if I want. But I told my wife, I said, when I started making more. I was making $20 an hour back in the late 90s, early 2000, which was good money. And it still is pretty good money now, even though the minimum wage has gone up drastically. I told my wife, I said, once I start making more than what I'm making at my job, we need to consider some things. I said that, and it took a little while, but in 2007, toward the end of 2007, I started trading the way I'm trading now, started making more a week than I was making in my job a week. And I finally told my wife, I said, why am I getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day fighting traffic when I can do this and make just as much money? And I said, but the goal is to be able to get you home too. And that's where we're at now. She was able to not retire, but get home, because she does other things. But I would think this is what everybody wants, is this same thing, to be able to do this. Yeah, I'm sure you can look on the internet and see all these pictures where they've photoshopped putting fancy Lamborghinis and all that stuff in there, and big old humongous houses like what they do on lottery winners. They post the photos of that stuff too. But don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. If you follow those guys, and you have been that done that, and if they're, because you can tell if you follow them religiously, write them down when they take a trade, or they say they take a trade. They tell the stop loss or profit target, or when they get out, all that stuff. Note that every single day that you're in there. And then go back and look and see if their numbers have been changed. If they have, I don't know about you, but I would leave the channel immediately. I would never go. I would unsubscribe from that, to where I don't ever have to go back to it again. And if they spent, I've even seen some of them on there where, and I wasn't on it long, probably 45 minutes, but I know they spent half the time begging for you to subscribe and to hit the like button. And I even seen one of them that had we're not making, going to put out a trade till we get to 1,000 likes, and they were at 500 and something. And boy, they loaded up then on it, because they wanted to trade. I feel sorry for them people. I really do. The ones that follow them, because they've been in, hook, line, and sinker. They've bit the bait and took it in. I guarantee them guys are not trading. They're focused on trying to get the likes. If you're trying to teach people for real, and you're telling people for real that you want them to be able to learn, not to be tied to you, and eventually they can do this themselves, where they don't have to come to your channel, then why do you got to pressure people to do like and subscribes all the time? Your first goal is teaching. That's it, period. Should be in a sentence. I want to be able to give back. I want people to be able to learn and be able to have the opportunity I have. If they're spending all their time trying to get subscribers, chances are they're trying to get the money, get enough subscribers, get money, and get ad money. And that's how they're going to make their living. And they're not making their living trading. They're probably not trading for real. It's probably demo, or they're not transparent. But that's up to each individual. If that's what you like, and you feel, oh, they entertain me, they're funny, they cut up. Well, like I said, it's what your phone's for. You can find that anywhere. You don't have to be in that room. But being able to talk, it's nice talking to them. I mean, I've seen guys in there that seemed like they were legit, but they would do the same thing. I mean, immediately when they did get in a trade, it was 8 to 10 pips. Sometimes it wasn't even that, and they moved their stop up to break even, got stopped out. Well, now they got to turn around and look for another trade. So I'm not going back to that ever again. Never, never, never. I found a way, and this is the way I'm trading. It's not for everybody, like I said, but that's what makes the world go around. So we'll see what we got. Pound dollar. So it's trying to make the signal coming down, but we got this below us, which could be a magnet, like it has been a magnet. It bounced off of it several times. So I would think at some point this move is going to be retraced up into here somewhere. Not today, but will it happen here? Go up before it comes down, or is it going to come down to here and then go up to there? So that's why we watch the charts. See what it tells us to do. This could be a low risk trade in here. If it is, you're not going to risk much. You know, a Big Mac combo meal. If you can't afford that, you don't need to be trading. You need to be on a demo account. Learn how to trade where the pressure's off of you. And like I said, you can have 10 of these, 10 straight losers, $10 risk, $100 loss for those 10. But you're one winner. If you got down in here, well, it's over here, or even here, the sell, there's your winner, made up for the 10 plus profit in just one trade. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. We got less than 17, now we got 16 minutes left before the New York session opens. Okay, y'all mind if I get a drink of water real quick? I'm gonna get a drink because my throat's getting kind of dry. And I'm gonna get rid of my coffee too. I'm done with that for the day. That helped a lot. Throat was getting dry. Let's see. Can we spread these apart? What is that low? 59. 70, so that's 11, about $14 risk right now. Well, let's say for laughs and giggles, just take this. I'm willing to, for training, willing to risk $14 for you guys. Show you if it works or not works, but how it does. So get in long. That's 70, that low, and this has got, oh gosh, it's got a lot of time left, and it doesn't. What is it? 43 minutes, 42 minutes. So it does got a lot of time. Let's look at the 4 hour. I think the picture is probably going to be, yeah, see, it's got a chance to come down into here or here. It can come there today. That's kind of what it's looking like in it on the longer term. Up. Let's see. The better buy is down where I showed you down here. The better opportunity for the buy is down here on the 4 hour. The 1 hour, that could be a trade right there, but it's got a long time to go. Well, let's see if it gets down there anymore. It's down to 68, 59, 9. Well, let's just get in it. I'm willing to lose $9. So I'm in the pound dollar long. Kind of give you an example of how this stuff works. So let's see, I'm trying to see. Getting in there. Let's see. Where was the other one? New Zealand yen. New Zealand yen. I think it was, or we're below the support level too. Euro yen, no. Odd yen, no. Pound dollar. So if you got any questions or comments, feel free. Let's see. Okay. Euro New Zealand, pound Aussie has come down. I'd like to see it push back up into there to sell. Aussie yen coming down. Aussie dollar coming down. Zealand yen coming down. I don't know why my phone is not wanting to work. On one dot. Hold on a second. I gotta get this bars back up again. Somebody. Okay, so we're hopefully the bar is going to stay here. Went away there for a second. New Zealand yen. It's down in there. Aussie dollar. It's trying to make a buy opportunity, but it's down below 2. So I would think it's got more. The U.S. session is fixing to open here in less than 5 minutes. So we'll keep an eye on this. I would think this is going to come down because that's a magnet right there. That's a yearly pivot right there, which has been bounced off of it 4 or 5 times in the last month. So I would think that's a magnet down here. That would be the better opportunity, is right in here. And it looks like they're trying to drive it down to that, doesn't it? But it could still, turn around here. This candle's got less than 35 minutes left. It could turn and go back up, but it's not making a good candle. But it was, what else were we looking at? The Aussie yen, kind of doing the same thing. Euro yen. There's not any. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything there yet. Euro New Zealand. We're going to have movement, but not a lot of movement. Because the volume on Fridays dries up, drops off drastically, and that's why I don't trade on Fridays. I'm here for training today, education, answer any comments you might have, concerns. But I don't have a lot of people in here that does that, because I think most, and the longer I go live streaming, which has now been over 2 weeks, the more I see that the traders who do the 1, 3, 5 minute charts, quick trading, where they're making several trades a day, that's where everybody wants to go, because they want action and entertainment. So I don't really want those people in here anyway, because I don't trade that way. So they need to stay where they're at. If they want to learn to be able to trade this way, then they're welcome to come. I'm more than welcome for them to come in. Pound dollar still not in there yet. That was 59. We've been down to 62. So we'll see how it does. Aussie dollar, I think, is trying to make a little poke down there. New Zealand yen did make a poke down twice, but I think it is close to that too, because it's below the resistance now. See, it closed below it yesterday on the 4 hour, and it drove it back down. I'm looking for down here. Or let's see. There could be a retest of that line before it goes higher, or it can come down lower down into here and then go up. But it being a Friday, it's doing what it's supposed to do. Market makers are going to run stops. The average trader Joe is going to try to get his 8 to 10 pips. But the volume's not going to be here to help them out, so there's no reason to trade. You say, why has the volume dropped off so drastically? The big boys aren't here. They're in the Hamptons, at their other place, whether it's at the beach or wherever. They've made their money Monday through Thursday, 3-day weekend for them. While the average trader Joe has got to come in here and trade 9 to 5 and try to make his 8 to 10 pips, beating their head against the wall. So that's why when I said to follow them, when I know they do the 1 and 4 hour charts, I'm not using anything less. There's a reason they use that. They don't trade on Fridays. There's a reason they don't trade on Fridays, so I'm not trading on Fridays. So I'm following the money. I mean, the ones that make the money. I'm not following the trader Joe who's got to be there 5 days a week to make money, and then uses a 1, 3, and 5 minute chart. I've already done that. The biggest headache, and well, I've gone over everything else. You're welcome to do what y'all need to do. Like I said, that's what makes the world go round. But it's not for me. I've been there, done that, and this is where I'm at now, and I'll be here. Because I have found this way of trading makes money. I'd have never been able to be at home and have my wife at home doing this, trading this way. I mean the other way, the 1, 3, 5 minute. That would have never happened. It happened this way. When I changed the trading style and I started looking at the charts religiously, finding patterns over. Been the same way for almost 17 years. How do all of these work? See, like the New Zealand yen, pressed down, still got a long way to go on the candle, just like the pound. That looks like a magnet to me right there. Now I could turn around here, be a slight retracement, which you would think some of this has got to retrace, which would say, okay, it could come back into here, and it could do that today. It also could come down here today, and that could be the buy opportunity. But this is a low risk trade, so $9 is worth it to me for education purposes. So you guys can kind of see. Because $9 I don't think is going to kill anybody. I don't believe. I could be wrong, I guess, but I wouldn't think so. Japanese yen is pushing back in the 149.60s. Now I'm in these, and I've been in them. I was in the last one when they spiked it down. I had to be in it for a month and a half though. So that money was tied up. But I got rewarded for being patient, and I'm in it again at the 148.90s, at the 149.90s. I've doubled up on the position again, and now I'm just waiting. When it gets back up at 150 again, for them to jump in. Bank of Japan I'm talking about. They just sent a message last week. That's all that was. That 300 pip drive down was just a message. Hey, we're not going to tolerate it being up in here. But when the real move comes, it's going to be anywhere from 500 to 700 pips. And I want to be in that short. I'm not long. I'm short the dollar yen. Now, if you didn't know this, when you carry over, there's interest rate charges depending on how you're doing it, because the dollar interest rate is a lot higher than the yen interest rate, because the yen is 0 and the dollar is like 5.5%. You get charged for that carrying it over, but it's not a lot of money. It's pennies. So it's not like you can make a living doing that unless you just got bukus and bukus of money, and then you can hold it for a while. And then vice versa. If you're buying like the New Zealand yen, the New Zealand interest rate is a lot higher. The yen, of course, 0. So then you get paid interest to carry it overnight. But it's not worth dealing, with that unless you just got millions of dollars and you're able to tie up some money, and then you get, hundreds or even thousands of dollars for interest. Then that's different. But when you're, an average trader and you don't have that kind of cash laying around, then the pennies are not going to be worth trying to trade like that. Because it's just a bonus if you happen to get it and you buy the New Zealand yen and you carry it over for a couple of nights, and then your trade works, you make money on that, plus you made money on the interest, but the interest ain't enough to do any kind of trading. Excuse me. My throat's getting dry. So the Euro Aussie made a sell. There's your opportunities to get in short. Now you're making money. What time was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it was 4:30 in the morning. Yep. So I wasn't up. It had already started. Been right in here. Now the risk is too great. So I missed that. Now if it was to push up in here a little bit more. But this one's kind of in no man's land. I don't see it coming down. If it does, it's going to just come down to here. But that's a pretty good move. If that happens, that means that the Aussie dollar is going up. And it's trying to. The New Zealand yen is going up, and it's trying to, but it's got New York session is open. It's still got less than 24 minutes for that candle. Pound yen made a push down. That's a possible buy right there, but see, I don't have a signal to show up just yet, but that still could work, and it could retrace and back up to here, reject, and then sell off. But it's kind of in no man's land. It just happens to be we're in no man's land on Friday. Is that just a coincidence? Don't think so. That way the market makers can do stop runs, because there's probably a stop there, probably a stop there. So they could go down a little bit lower, take the stops out, run up here, take the stops out, turn around, come back down. So we'll have to keep an eye out. Like I said, less than 23 minutes to go. Pound dollar trying to push up. I'm in this one for education purposes and training. I'm willing to lose $9 so you guys can get educated on my way of trading, swing trading. Now you don't have to trade it exact way. You can kind of change. You may find stuff that I haven't seen before that will help you. And an extra set of eyes never hurts anything. Yep, nobody in there. New Zealand yen is trying to push up. Euro yen trying to push up. Pound yen. It's got less than 22 minutes for that candle in CAD yen. I would think that flush down is going to get retraced at some point. May not be here, could be lower. There's the possible magnet right there. See where we closed above it, come back and touched it, took off. Now we're going to come back to that again. That's not going to happen today. That's not going to happen today. If it's going to come down, take this low out, it's going to be next week. Probably Tuesday or Wednesday before that would happen. Maybe even later. Depending on if it goes up here first, then it'll take longer to get down to that. Aussie dollar. The pound dollar. Yes, I'm up a couple of pips. But, you know, a lot of traders say, oh, I got 7 or 8 pips. I need to go ahead and take that. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're only risking $9. Why would you take that? Can't do anything till it takes out this high up here and pushes up toward this high. And I can move my stop to break even plus a couple of bucks, and it may be high enough where I can take off half the profit. And then let it do what it's going to do the rest of the day, and I don't have to worry about it. Which I don't now. It's just $9. Pound yen. See, all these are the New York session is now open. Let's see, Euro CAD I think was in, it's trying to push down, which is kind of what you want. Back down into here. That could happen today. Push back down into here. Euro New Zealand is trying to sell off, but not by much. Pound New Zealand, same picture. New Zealand yen. Pound CAD should be selling off. It is. Looking for it to come down here, and it should. It's got range to come down there today. Aussie yen is trying to push up too. The New York session's been open for 10 minutes now, but there's not no direction just yet. So we got to keep up with all that stuff. Got to keep an eye on the dollar yen too. It's in the 149.60s. So nothing to do on there. Bank of Japan is not going to step in again until it climbs back above 150. And all along I was thinking a close above 150 and they would step in, but they actually close. I mean, they may do it this time. They wait for a close. But I want to be in it short. Catch the ride down. That would be a big money maker Now, don't put all your trades in one basket. Don't ever do that on anything. Please don't do that. So I'll probably be on here another 20 minutes maybe, and that'll be it for today. Because I'm debating, with nobody really showing up and then live streaming for over 2 weeks now. I've had views, quite a few, but nobody commenting or asking questions or subscribing or anything. So apparently the swing trading is not for them, or they want to be entertained. Again, you got to decide, where do you want entertaining, or you want to be able to make money eventually, retire, and this is your full-time job doing this trading. Because you have to be patient in this style of trading. You have to be patient, and most people aren't patient. They need the money now. CAD yen just kind of gone sideways for the last 12 hours. So that's more than 12, ain't it? 6 and 9. Yeah, about 18 hours on sideways. So it's building up for something, either to fill in and sell off, or it's going to drop down even further. And this is a wide open space here, so I would think it's going to come down to, at least not today probably, because there's no news and the volume is not there. But see, that wick has got to be filled in. That wick's been pretty much filled in now with this push down a little bit more, but that wick could be coming down to there, or even in the bigger one. That's a magnet again. But this is not going to happen today. This is not going to happen today. That's why a lot of these, there's nothing to do. Now we're probably going to get stopped out right here, because the 4 hour looks different. That's a magnet right there. And I'd prefer it to come down here. That's a 1 hour buy. That 30 minutes, how'd I hit that? 41 hour. And New Zealand yen. See, I think all of these, I think, have got to go and make a lower low before there's action to the upside. Aussie yen, same thing. Aussie dollar, same thing. And pound dollar. Yep, we're going to get stopped out on the pound dollar. So we'll see all these, how these do or not do. See, I don't trade the Euro US dollar. I don't trade the Aussie CAD, Aussie Swiss, Euro Swiss, New Zealand CAD, New Zealand Swiss. I don't trade any of those. I don't trade gold. I've got these 14, which is plenty to look at. There's always trades at some point. Like I said, when I first came on live streaming, sometimes there's not a trade during the day. Sometimes there's not a trade the next day either. It's about being patient, and most people aren't patient, and they can't wait for the setup on it, which should be pound dollar. I think what I showed, the purple, well, there it is. I think that's a magnet right there coming to, that's a yearly pivot. yearly pivot. So let's squeeze this in, put it on a 4 hour, make it better, we can see them all, and squeeze it. Let's see how it bounced off, hit it, touched it, drove up, closed below it over 100 pips, came back up, closed above it, touched it, went up pretty good bit, come back, touched it, went up a lot higher. Now, you reckon it's going to come back down here again? Before it goes up, or is it going to crash? It come down to where the buy was. That's what I would look for, a low risk trade, and then the turnaround. That won't happen today. This is a 4 hour chart. I don't even think this is going to happen today to get down here. It could. But you just don't know. The New York session's been open for almost 20 minutes. The next candle shows up on a 1 hour in less than 12 minutes. The 4 hour candle showed up 48 minutes ago. So it doesn't go in. Next one doesn't show up until 1 o'clock Eastern time. So that's almost 3 hours away. So we looked at, what was we seeing? The New Zealand yen, the pound yen, the Aussie yen, my mom's messaged me. Okay. Answer her back. Hold on just a second. I'm going to go check on the dog. She may want out. She likes going out on the deck. Okay. So I won't be on here much longer. I'm on the side over the weekend since there hadn't been a lot of views. I've been on live streaming for over 2 weeks. I'm recording this too, by the way. For those of you who might miss it, you can go back and look at it over the weekend. Because I was hoping, I had more hope in people wanting to learn to trade this way and be able to, but I got a feeling that I'm mistaken, because I think people just want to be entertained and try to trade, and but not Forex swing trading, because you have to be patient, you have to wait, and there may not be a trade that comes. So most people feel they gotta make so many trades and try to make so much money. So my time is valuable, just like your time is valuable, and I don't want to waste it. I just as soon, if nobody's going to be here and is wanting to learn, that I just do the trading myself and concentrate on it. I was wanting to try to be able to help people to where they could get to where I am. Without entertainment, I guess that's not going to happen. And most people like to get in chat rooms and talk and cut up and be entertained by whoever is running the room, and then maybe they'll have 10, 20 trades where they got some action. I said you don't really have no action here. I mean, you got the Aussie yen possible, and the New Zealand yen possible, and the pound dollar possible, and Aussie dollar possible. Did I say pound yen? Yeah, pound yen. But these setups, I'm not really looking for anything, but they could work. Retest up in here. Eventually looking for a retest up into here because of that flush. That won't be today. And New Zealand yen, same thing. It had the flush, looking for a retrace on it, or at least up to here. That's a yearly pivot. And that probably won't happen today either. Because with low volume, it's going to be hard to push all this stuff. But the market makers are going to make moves to where they can get the stops. The yen, same thing, is trying to go up. But we'll see. The dollar yen's in the 149.60, so it's not really moving at all. It's just creeping. Just creeping. Like everything else. And the New York session's open. It's been open for 25 minutes. Now the stock market might be moving some. I don't think there was any news today. You can go to forexfactory.com. They have the news for all the countries, times when the reports come out. So that's free. You can easily look at that. Need to go back and look. New Zealand yen. Less than 5 minutes as 1 hour candle ends. Pound yen. Aussie yen. Looks like the same thing as the pound yen. Aussie dollar. Pound dollar. Remember, I'm live streaming. This will be recorded. It'll be out in the after lunchtime here in the U.S. Usually around 1, sometimes 2 Eastern time, U.S. time. It'll be recorded. And it's live. I don't do any, I mean, you can, I'm sure most of you know you can edit these things. I don't edit it. I just put it on there. It is what it is. So I'm going to be on here just a little bit longer. Like I said, I'm on the side over the weekend. Unless I just have a buku of views and people sending me comments and questions, and, which I've had a few. And actually, Wednesday. Was it Wednesday night? No, Tuesday night. Tuesday night. I actually had 2 different people they're from other countries that sent me comments, and they weren't at the same time. They were like about 3 hours apart. One was in the late afternoon here in the U.S., and the other was right before I went to bed, which is usually about 10:30 at night. But both of them were basically saying the same thing. There was not enough trading action, and I sent them back. I didn't get angry or upset. I sent them back both a message that I don't know if they had knew or watched my videos or my feature video where it says I do Forex swing trading, and then there's not going to be trades every day. And then I said that you can find, I'm sure, on the internet, there's plenty of rooms that do 1, 3, and 5 minute, and they're going to have a ton of trades every day, and you're welcome to go hunt them down. Even though I advise against it, that type of trading. But if you want to be entertained and you need somebody to entertain you, then I guess that's what you got to hunt for instead of trading. Or learning how, I should say. But most people just want to follow. They don't want to do the work, which I suggest you do the work. Print off these charts every day, every single day. If there's no trade, then you don't have to write anything up. Or if you missed a trade and you couldn't get in it, there was no retracement, then you write that down, circle it, write it up where it was, and then when you do get in a trade, then you write it up where your entry was, why you got in, where the stop loss was, and whatever target profit you were going to have. And you got to be truthful. And then print those off every day. I got 14 that I print off every day. And then I put them in a notebook. That way I can go back and look at them. Usually over the weekend, sometimes at night, but usually over the weekend. Kind of go over and look at them because it don't take long. Because like I said, there's only 14. That's one of your best teachers is doing that, and you're going to start seeing repetitive over and over and over and over and over. Like I said, I've had these same for going on 17 years, and you can start noticing, marking up. That's the best teacher for you. You can see why you lost and everything. It's the best teacher. The yen trying to push 149.70. So that means the dollar is trying to get stronger. I see what I tell you. This is where we're coming. Now, we may not get there today. We could. It's still a good ways off. Like 40 pips. Yeah, 40 more pips. And that could happen. And we'll see from right there if that's the better buy. As the New Zealand yen should be stopped at, no, it's not. Pound yen, see, that came lower. Of course, it didn't have a signal there either. The odd yen, not doing anything. Aussie dollar, if it's strong today or not. I'm going to look for a setup down in here. Or maybe even, I think it's lower, a little bit lower. Yeah, below it. That's right, below it was the buy. So it come down below that and probably close below it. You're all Aussie, pushing down, but not a whole lot. But nothing going on. And That's typical of a Friday, unless it's non-farm payroll here in the U.S. report, which was last week. And that was last Friday. This 1 hour. When was last Friday? That was the 6th. Is that correct? That's, what day is that? That's the 10th. Oh, wow. I got a long way to go back. Oh, 27th. 29th. The 6th. 2nd. Second. So where is the 6th? If that's the 10th. Fourth. It's still the 4th. Must be over here. No, there's a delay right there in that. That's why it's not showing, because that can't still be the 4th. Too long ago. No, it's not showing that either. Oh well. Anyway, go back and look at these. New Zealand yen, Aussie dollar, Aussie yen. Aussie looks like it might have strength today because the Euro Aussie is trying to come down, but not quickly. So remember, I have this video recorded. I'm fixing to shut down the live stream. I'm hoping it's not going to be for good, but depending on what happens over the weekend, if I have just a ton of views and people send messages and comments, then I'll keep it open. But otherwise, like I said, my time's valuable just like your time's valuable, and if I'm giving up my time and nobody is showing up or they want to trade this way, then there's no reason for me to keep doing it. I'd rather concentrate on my trading. Even though I always want to be able to help people to be able to learn how to trade correctly and be able to do like I do, work from home, where it's a business now. And I don't have to depend on getting 100,000 subscribers and get paid and then get ad money and get paid and pay my bills with that. Pay my bills with my trading. I don't need that. I just want to be able to trade. So that means I'm not going to get them kind of subscribers. I'm just going to find, probably a handful of people who are serious about it and don't have to be entertained the whole time that they're on. They just want to learn, ask questions, and so we'll see. So hopefully this is not my last video, but it's not looking good because it looks like the way society is. Everybody wants something quickly. They wanted it yesterday. And with this trading, you have to be patient. And there may or may not be a trade that day, or even the next day. And then you may have to wait a day or two before you get paid, even after you get in the trade. So it takes patience for all that, and a lot don't have that patience. They want it now. So I hope that y'all are able to prove me wrong, because I actually had hope that there was going to be people out there who actually wanted to really learn how to trade and make money, and would realize that if I have to be patient, I have to be patient. I got to have the money set aside to where I have money to pay my bills while I'm learning to trade, to be patient, and do a demo account too. That would help while you're learning. But like I said, printing off these charts every day is going to be your best teacher, because actually you won't need me, which is okay. Print them off, write them up every single day. Yes, it takes a lot of ink. Yes, ink is expensive. Paper is expensive. Everything's expensive now. But it's once you learn how to trade and you start making more than what you make at your job, then it can become a business, and all that's a tax write-off. Because it's hard to do day trading working a full-time job. Yen should come down. There was see, we're below this support, which is now resistance yearly, and we've gone down pretty good bit below it. But I think the setup is not coming until there's a lower low taken out, and that's probably on all these: Aussie dollar, Aussie yen, pound yen. Oh, it's already done the lower low. Just trying to push down. Should come down to that candle wick right there. Either fill it in or come close to filling it in, and that can happen today. Euro yen trying to come down too. It's got a ways to go down in here. So, and this is typical for Friday. If you wasn't already in the trade, it's going to continue pushing down. Market makers are going to try to run stops, so it could just go sideways. It could go in here, start going up, come back down. They do stop runs because this is on an hour chart, and most people trade 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 15 minutes, so easily they can go get stops because they know where they are. Euro CAD is pushing down too. Yen. And that pound dollar is heading to here. Aussie dollar. So that's it for today, guys. That's it for today, and it could be it from now on, depending on what happens over the weekend. I sure hope not, because I want to be able to help people, but sometimes people don't want to be helped. So I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I just hope that I'm able to continue with the live streaming where I can kind of teach people and get them to where I'm at, which I would think most people would want, but it's not always that way. So if you are in trades still, move your stops if you can, not too tight where it could get stopped out and the trend continues in your direction, up or down, and take off, profit if you haven't. You choose the number. I always do a half, depending on the currency size, or depending on where my half is going to be. It could be anywhere from 30 to 60, depending on the currency, because I'll have different ranges. And that's important. You have to take that in consideration. So I may or may not see you guys on Monday. Be live streaming. Of course, to be able to get it, you have to subscribe to my channel, and then you also have to hit the notify me, click on it, and then YouTube will send you a notify message that I am on live. But you don't get that if you don't subscribe. So we'll see you guys hopefully, fingers crossed, on Monday.